Like you couldn't do that. I had to start the live over. 'Cause I guess, they blocked me or, shadow banned me or some shit like that. But I just wanted to speak, get this information out, when I'm speaking on this topic of building your own, build your own, build your own. Like that's a jewel, man. That's a jewel. And the thing about it is, it's easier. I ain't gonna ever say, put it like this, scratch that. I ain't gonna ever say anything is easy. Them terms alone is man-made. I could say that. Terms like easy, hard, shit like that, that's all man-made discouragement. That's all man-made, you know what I mean, projection. Easy, hard, difficult. You know what I mean? Them adjectives be really programmed. It's a narrative behind it. It's a whole fucking long game behind that. When people use terms like easy or hard or what have you, and I don't like those terms. Just from my perspective, that's from me. I don't like using terms like easy or hard or difficult or any of that type of shit. Mainly because it's coming from a spirit of discouragement. It's coming from a spirit of stagnate, not growth. Like it's coming from a spirit of deceit. It's coming from a spirit of, not prosperous, not righteousness. It's just a defeatism mind state to me, if that's a word, defeatism. I always say that. I've never looked it up, but that's how I look at that. Or can't. Or don't, like words have words have life, man. They have breath. The motherfuckers breathe for real. My mother taught me that, like shit, that words definitely. My OG, most of them told me that, like words have life in it, man. Like don't be telling yourself, I can't, or don't be using shit like that's easy or hard. Like, nah, man, we ain't breaking it down. Like, it either is or it ain't. You either do it or you don't. It ain't no half-ass, you know what I mean, type of mindset or approach to nothing. You either do it or you don't. You either are or you ain't. Like, we living in a society that promotes this gray area shit, this, I could rock the uniform, speak the lingo, have the, you know what I mean? Like, and not really have any kind of fucking man hours behind it. Not really have any kind of conditioning or experience behind it. So in terms of when I'm speaking on build your own, it takes a person actually taking risk against everything that is being, I guess taught to you, everything that has been taught to you or and everybody around you. Like building your own takes a lot of fuck that, I'm gonna do this. I love doing what I do, so I'm gonna go out on the limb. And even when you speak on building your own, a person, taking that risk to build their own, they'll know the steps that they have to take as far as researching, and they're not gonna just go out there blindfolded, or just on a dummy mission. Like, nah, that ain't that. I'm not pushing it from that angle. Like, I'm pushing it from the angle of, hey, bruh, like, or hey, sister, like, shit, man, you come from the pressure when you come from these things. Like, you often have hobbies and talents. Everybody does. Like, I ain't even just coming from the angle of poverty, but let's just keep it 1,000. Like, what the most innovative people come from, the bottom, the gutter, the mud, the ghettos, the streets. And they'll have the natural talents. They might not have the, let's keep it 1,000. They won't have the resources or the support. But when it comes to, hey, you gonna go hit up Charlie, boy. This nigga put an alternator in your shit real quick. Just bring him a damn 6-pack. Like, he ready, a tall boy. Let's keep it 1,000. He a gearhead from the dirt, like from the jump. Like, you not going, or we're gonna say this. Your natural beauticians, A lot of people, like, what's going on right now, I'm not speaking on this, but shit, what's going on right now, there's people boycotting African businesses. Shit, I'm a big supporter, most definitely, of boycotts, period. That shit, right now, boom, I'm speaking on a topic called build your own, motherfucker. Build your own. Like, why not? Discrimination is necessary. I had a whole live speaking about that. Discrimination is necessary. I love it, bruh. See what I mean? Like, it takes a different type of person to be understanding what I'm saying. Like, if you don't understand what the fuck I'm saying, obviously we ain't on the same wavelength. We not on the same frequency. Like, when I'm told, hey, oh, we ain't got nothing for you, shit, I leave. And then I'm like, man, and mind you, rent due or what have you. Whatever it is that's due, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about experiences on this earth. I'm like, okay, man, I gotta get it. I gotta do something to get it. Like, that takes a whole different type of, like, it's risk. You gotta say, like, fuck the people that are, like, naysaying and doubting you. That's the one thing, a bit of advice I'll tell anybody, that when it comes to building your own, don't tell nobody shit. Don't tell nobody your moves. Because they're going to project. They're going to project discouragement. They're going to project failure. Yeah. Building your own is an anomaly. You living in, like I said before my live fucked up, I had to start it over. So, most motherfuckers is going to project onto you failure, and that ain't going to work, shit like that. And it's like, yeah, I would tell you get the fuck away from them, and, as well. But building your own is definitely not for the weak. It's not for the complacent, the sit on your hand ass motherfucker. It's not for them. Stay on the grid, rely on the grid ass nigga. It's not for them. Building your own takes a detail-oriented person, a person that is all about detail, all about the small wins, the gradual progress, Like, like I've said before my live, and it's not about money. They'll do it for free. It's a natural talent. That's why I say that's a God's gift, God-given gift. You grew up learning about cars. I mean, the first time you set eyes under the hood, or seen a vehicle, like, you know, you was collecting cars, all kind of shit, model cars if you was little in my generation. You know, we used to build cars and science kits and all kind of shit. Like whatever it is, like soon as you got that love for it, man, that like your eyes just glowed, like you was a Looney Tunes character or some shit. Like you know, your eyes are smiling over this shit. Yeah, that's your tap in, man. Build your own. They don't want to let you in that door. Fuck them. Build your own. The pandemic showed that to a lot of people. I loved it. I loved it. They were on my type of time. I told anybody that know me that they heard this shit a million times. Like, this is my type of time, man. Motherfuckers actually have to be themselves. They actually have to tap into their own self, oneself. Like, they can't just go sit amongst a bar scene or, you know, sit amongst some kind, you know what I mean? Some kind of institution that's forcing you to spend money just for enjoyment or entertainment or whatever. Like, shit, what do you have? What do you have to offer? What do you have that you enjoy actually doing naturally? You a gardener, miss? You know, you bake pies, you know, what have you? Like, it's things that people actually love doing. It's people that love cleaning. Like, they should build a cleaning business. Seriously. Start it out on your own, and then you branch out to like-minded individuals, and then it's lucrative. And this, like, the money will come. Once again, the money will come. It's not even about, you're not driven off the money. That's not your motivation. Your motivation is your natural God-given talent. Like it's a preordained, like the thing is waiting for you. I have one. I'm an artist. I've been drawing since I was like 3, 4 years old. Like, and I can't help it. Like, I see fucking shit in clouds. I see shit in cushions and stucco on the wall and shit. I can see stuff in everything. I can build something out of anything. Even when I worked in demolition, that helped because I knew how it was formed. I knew how it was built, if that makes sense to anybody. I worked in demolition for 20 years, and I love that. I love that, one, because it's working with your hands like that. See what I mean? Like, that ties into the artistry. I love working with my hands. I love critical thinking, like how I'm going to do this. You can't just step, you know what I mean? That's one thing about somebody that builds their own. You're just not just doing it blindfolded. You're not doing it without a plan. You see what I mean? Like, you're detail oriented. You're very, you know, plan savvy. Like, you can't help it in everything. You're having a function at your crib for the holiday or whatever, these holy days. Like, shit, you love doing that at your spot. You love doing that. That's a business in that. They actually have lanes for that, you know, party planners and shit like that. Like, people be sitting on a gold mine and literally be having, you know, the anvil, so to speak. I'm always going to reference cartoons and shit. I love cartoons. But you got like a weight on you of discouragement and projections, and they ain't gonna like it, or, you know, it's just a lot of doubt. You got that anvil, that weight on you, and you sitting on a fucking gold mine. Like, it ain't even about the gold, like, you the gold. That's the crazy thing. The money gonna come though. You'll be taken care of, is what I'm saying. You'll be taken care of. Why? Cause look, God made the Most High made the person who created these cashless systems. You know, these where you gotta have monetary you know, you gotta have monies and shit like that. Like, well, maybe I'm veering off, but shit, I'm just saying like that's how I look at it. He created the fires that blow the, you know what I mean, that the blacksmith uses, if that makes sense. So I look at it like that. That no weapon, you know, a lot of people like to recite scripture and things like that. And, you know, when it don't live in you, it's empty. It's just somebody just reciting scripture. When it don't live in you, it's empty. It's just somebody waving a fucking flag. Shout out to the, you know, you already know. No disrespect, but that's what that was. Empty protest. But anyway, you know, like, so that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Like that lives in me, I can say. Like that breathes, like, you know what I mean? That has legs, it has a heartbeat. It's food. It actually like boom. Like, hell yeah, boom, for real, that's food. Like a nigga could eat off of that. My people could eat off of that. When you tap in, like nothing can stop you. No weapon formed. You see what I mean? Like you dissect the fuck out of that shit. Like, so when I even see that, okay, I got discriminations. Like I said in my prior life, discrimination is very necessary. Shit, it forces me. If you know, it forces you to, oh man, okay, I'm not accepted over here. All right then. And not many have that. They'll keep knocking on that door. Insanity. They'll keep knocking on that door. Keep banging their head on that fucking door. Like they're trying to line up reparations as begging. And it's like nigga, this is that old, nigga. And niggas is working, motherfucker. Like, what are you talking about? Like they're trying to make it seem like motherfuckers is just sitting on their hands asking for handouts. Like they do. It's projections. But anyway, back to, I'm veering off. Apologies. But, you know, as far as, you know, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Like, that's important because it's speaking to a specific group, and that group is like they have witnessed this exact storyline. Not many people can relate to this. Like you'll have pushback or discriminations against, you know, your very well-being, your very existence. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like and it all, you know, all signs, all arrows point to build your own. All signs point to segregation. I had a live on that. Segregation. Like if you not for segregation, I guess you a killer. Like to me. I'm just gonna keep it 1,000. Like if you not for separating, I guess you just like the you know the dark, you know the darkness that we live with. We're forced to live with amongst each other. And don't try to twist my word and killer. When I say killer, shit, yeah, crimes is gonna happen through proximity, but we also not gonna negate or deny the factor of racism. Go to my live on that. When I speak on race, I got plenty of videos on racism, several of them, but like these be the things that a certain group has had to, you know, maneuver through and navigate through in this journey, this life experience that we all have. And if you ask me, all signs lead to build your own. All all signs lead to, all arrows, you know, lead to. Hey, man, like, I think you need to go do your own thing. I think y'all need to come together. That's a big, major component in this, you know, in the topic of building your own. Man, you gotta come together. You gotta come together. Like I can't express that enough. I can't express that enough. It really bothers it. You know, it bothers the fuck out of me when me being one of those people that tap in, have always tapped into my natural talent of whatever it is that I enjoy doing, I'll do it for free. Of course, once I realize, you know, there's monetary value in it and you build a business, nah, you ain't doing it for free. But you get what I'm saying? Like, you do it on your off time. You do it as a hobby. You've been doing it since 3-4 years old. But anyway, yeah, like when you, me being one of those people, I look at any of the things that we go through. I look at any of the things that, you know, our people go through, the specific group, you know, that God has chosen to go through these things. I look at it like it's necessary. I look at it like it's all roads leading to, man, it's waiting for you. Your own is waiting for you. Build your own, man. Build your own. Like it's the inevitable. It's happening anyway, naturally, as you can see. You know, a lot of people are speaking of the, you know, how the weather is, you know, and that's been like this for decades. You know, the internet is just making, you know, your keyboard fucking scholars pop out. But, you know, you can even call me one or whatever, because I could say I didn't know a lot of things, but at the same time I did, but it wasn't popular to speak on it. So yeah, that ties into what I was saying. Like, when you come together, man, we got to stop all that fucking shooting down a brother's talents. It's one thing that, you know, we grow up with the Joneses shooting the dozens and all that, joning on, ranking on each other or whatever, clowning. Yeah, that's one. But when it's down to business, man, let's do business, bro. Let's do business, sis. Like, I'm not talking about the motherfuckers that want to play all day. I'm talking to people that actually, you know, got something and they want to, you know, do something. That's another thing. Don't waste time on motherfuckers that's all talk, man. Like, that's very popular. That's very pushed in this society. I speak on that a lot. Show me a tangible. Show me you doing it first. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm a big pusher of, hey, when you got something that you want to do, don't tell nobody. Just get it done. I'm talking shit. Go all the way down to, you know, get your paperwork right, your LLC, trademarks, what have you. Like, you know, your supplies, your insurance, whatever it is. Like, do that shit. And then you hire motherfuckers. Because that's a big thing in this world as well. You got people that are waiting for you to do shit like that because they don't have the you know, the courage or the will to actually step out on a limb to, you know, follow what their natural talent is. Everybody got one. A lot of people, you know, and a lot of people throw it away. A lot of people throw it away when they're in elementary school. A lot of people won't admit that. Most people won't admit that. They throw that shit away in elementary school. Why? Because it starts. That's when you're starting to form. Because you just jumped off the porch. You know, all you knew was mommy or daddy or whatever. Now, that's why I say that it starts in elementary school. Now you see in other walks of life. and you having to be around them for X amount of hours, and now you learning different mannerisms and shit like that. And it's often the popular thing to do is to be what you know what I mean? Like, people want to be what they ain't, instead of, being who they are, instead of tapping in to their natural state. That's a big part of building your own. But yeah, as far as not tearing down each other, when it comes to you have somebody taking that risk in whatever it is that they decide to build, and go out on a limb to level up. Because one thing I can say, as a person that's doing that, I don't look at it as I'm driven off of the money. It's not about the money. And from my experience, how I know that I'm in the right space with that is because whenever you do share it with somebody that, say, look, like I say, most people are not doing so. You're on an island. First of all, when you're somebody like me, when you're an entrepreneur, you're on an island. When you're on some, build your own shit, you're on an island. It's kind of like I can relate it to. I'm trying not to veer off, but I can relate it to when you're in school and you're a straight A student. You're in an island. Like, I'm talking K through 12, even in the college, even what I mean, university, post, you know what I'm saying, education. Yeah, most definitely, you're on the island, cause you gotta understand that out of 35 or 20 students or whatever the fuck, 40 students, you know what I mean, like, it's not many of you in there that really have that. Like, that's why you're in school. See what I'm saying? Like, that's why you're in school, to learn that, to learn these things. And you still ain't gonna have what the person that's naturally gifted is gonna have. Like, you're not gonna be able to emulate that or be taught, or no degree is gonna teach you that. It's gonna qualify you to be in the same arena of somebody that's naturally builds, naturally has the enjoyment, the love, the passion for whatever that craft is, whatever that industry is. That it's not going to happen. Of course, what I could say as far as the schools only teach you to a certain point. They teach you just for the standards. That's a whole nother topic I'm gonna do one day too, as far as standards. Knowing the standards here in this society is a big thing. But shit, yeah, like they only teach you but so much, just so you can qualify for the standards here in this society. And when you speak on standards, that doesn't mean it's great or has any integrity. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't mean that it's quality. Like, that just means that you're gonna get the service done. Perfect example is you go to these little, these grease shops, get your oil change or what have you, and a lot of them auto techs don't even be knowing what they're doing. And this is just an oil change, people. A lot of them don't be knowing what they're doing. They'll fuck your whole car up. I advise you to stand in the bay. Or if you're taking your lady's car in there, stand in the bay. Pull your phone out. Everybody got a phone now. Record that shit. Because then, I'm just coming from, from a mindset. Like I'm telling you from 1,000 experience. Especially me, like I said, I worked in demolition. You know, that's knocking down big buildings, even bridges and things like that. Like so, I've been around a lot of the mediocrity, mediocre fucking service. You know, don't even be having the tools, let alone the know-how, or even the, you know, because you could be a person like I could say I got into that when I was younger. I ain't had a know-how, but I had the mindset of knowing how. I guess you could say it's know-how. Then scratch that. Then shit. I guess you could say the know-how of how things are built, like the engineering type of mindset. You know, mindset to look at things as it has components like everything else. Like, because being that I'm an artist, like in order for me to draw something, form something on a paper or a canvas, I have to start somewhere. You see what I'm saying? So just looking at it like that you you're set apart from the rest. Or even others might have, things like that. I could say a mechanic definitely looks at things like that. A carpenter, an architect, an engineer, like they all look at things like that. Like everything has a start and an end, like it, and that's big, man. That's a major key to building your own. Like you gotta start somewhere. You gotta start, man. You gotta start somewhere. Do not think that you can be, don't jump on the wave of this microwave fucking society, it's gonna happen overnight type shit. I need results now. Like get conditioned, you know what I'm saying? Learn, learn what it takes to actually get on the market. You know what I'm saying? Learn what it takes to actually become a successful t-shirt business. Learn what it takes to actually become a successful bakery, or a beautician, Like a lot of people don't even understand that they'll be the consumer of things all their life and they're sitting on gold mines right there. Like you know the ins and outs, you know more about the product than the person that's selling it to you. You should be the owner of that shop that you patronizing. Ain't that something? But you ain't willing to go out on the limb. I understand to my people that have been discouraged, and it's very much man, it's very much a setback, something that has held us back for a long time. I'm loving the younger generation. The younger generation, they actually exercising their, what their resources. They're exercising their, what they have in their environment to the full extent. Like you got to commend them. You got to commend, or anybody that has done that in any generation. I can just say that throughout my experience, it's not a lot of ever since history has shown us that our people, whenever we do build something, it gets tore down, it gets sabotaged, you get all kind of off the wall ass policies and limitations and barriers thrown at you, and it discourages the people. I could see that happening. Anybody in their right mind could see that happening. And throughout history, there's been many of us that push back. We pushed through that force field. We pushed through that you know, nah, come back later type shit, or nah, you can't do that over here. You can't, that won't work. You know, we push through all that shit. That's not popular. That's not popular. That's not the popular narrative that they push as far as my people, foundational black Americans here in America, you know what I'm saying? We the true Americans. Like, they don't, just like it's not pushed the narrative of that, my people has built this country. Like, a lot of people don't even know that the White House is built by black slaves, black American slaves. Shit like that, like, railroads, And that's not a shot at anybody that comes from a lineage that didn't, or like like that. That's a whole nother topic, and I've spoke on this. Like, what's with this comparing traumas and shit, or we did it too. Like, don't nobody give a fuck about it. I'm not speaking on that. If I say I love myself, I'm not saying I hate you, nigga. I know that's but when you sound off on Hit Dogs Holler, when you sound off on that, that lets me know that's the spirit you coming from. You're like, oh man, I love me, and because this is you speaking. I love me, so it's being that I say I love me, it's fuck you. Like, that's your spirit. If I say I love me, I'm not saying fuck you. I'm not saying I hate you. Many of my people can relate to this. Like, we're not on no coming from a spirit or no space of stepping out, looking good, smelling good, presentable, and trying to flaunt on people or whatever, fly, you know what I mean? We're not, not fly, but you know what I mean? Nobody trying to do all that. Nobody trying to flash out on you and shit like that, like, shit on you or what have you. And that's what y'all take it as. And know how we know history has shown it, and it's still going on to this day. We build something, boom, y'all gotta go tear it down. The movie Sinners has showed that. I like that they specifically showed a juke joint, like, a speakeasy type joint. I love that they showed that narrative right there, like, because those are the first things that we formed in our economies, in our little, towns, that became, your lakes and rivers and shit, or body, a little, you get what I'm saying? That's a whole nother topic, but like it just shows that we made something that was great from nothing, and then you had the spirit of, we got to go tear that down. We got to go in the middle of the night. You see, you come from a puss ass culture as it is as well. I commend the white folks that are speaking up about these things. Like, they're actually not in denial. Like, yes, it takes a lot. Like, I can say most of the people that are speaking up about it they'll tell you the real psychology behind this part of it. They'll tell you that they don't like that they come from a people that has done all this evil. They'll say that. And that, yeah, and you know what my response is? Like, imagine coming from the motherfuckers that received it. Like, like, that's crazy. It's crazy to me. Like, and it's not shooting down what they just said. Yeah, I can relate. I can understand. Like, you're like, like, yeah, my people. I'm like, shit, well, my people are the motherfuckers that your people were doing it to. It still shows to this day. Why? Because all the things, this is the low IQ. I'm gonna speak on that another fucking day as well. This is the so-called low IQ. I don't believe in IQ. I'm just, using the fucking white supremacist terms, the government terms that grooms you to use. But anyway, this is the low IQ. they'll they'll negate, they'll totally just ignore, notice this. They'll ignore the barriers and things that come with just being black in America, being black American, foundational black American in America. They'll totally just deny history. They'll deny everything. That's that I'm white and I say so shit. That's that, it's really on some shit that they playing dumb with you. They'll play dumb with you. But a lot of them don't naturally know. They don't be knowing their history. But at the same time, the ones that do, they're actually setting you up to see if you know. And once you know, it's crickets. You know what I mean? Debate over. Shit is over once you show your, you know what I mean? In which you don't even have to read a book to them or nothing like that. It just just a few points, boom, and then it's over. And then they'll resort to black on black crime, and they'll say the same shit. You know what I mean? They'll start name calling niggers and shit like that. But they'll deny. What I'm saying is, people deny the fact of like what was done in the past in American history. What was done in the past is still effective today. Like they're thinking, look, you gotta literally understand this. They're thinking that they're living in a society right now, like they'll go as far as maybe their great grandfather, and their great grandfather have a piece of land, or have a automotive shop, or have what I mean, just different things, different industries. They're thinking that was off of hard work. You see what I'm saying? Like you literally living amongst generations like that. Your 20s, your 30-year-olds, your 40-year-olds specifically. Yeah, they're thinking that we got it out the mud. They got it out the mud. They own this business, or have these things based on working hard. Like, mind you, your average 40-year-old, he was in the 80s, he had a big wheel, the mom and dad, the American dream was already achieved for them, the backyard, you know what I'm saying? It's been achieved by the 80s. They already had it. So you got to understand, your average 40-year-old right now, like he's in the mindset that he worked hard. Like he's totally in denial of the fact of even the motherfuckers in like you can go from 70s, you can go from the 80s, the 70s, the 60s, shit, the 40s, the 50s, you know what I mean? Yeah, like you can go to those generations where they're in their culture, they're totally in denial of the history. They purely think that this shit was built off of their hard work and shit like that. They running with that narrative. They negate the whole history of slaves working for free, how they built wealth off of the backs of slaves, black American slaves. Like they totally just dismiss that whole thing, and that's why you'll hear today, well, that was 150 years ago. They'll say shit like that, and it's like, you need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and they'll say shit like that, or, well, if y'all didn't buy this, rims and Jordans, like it just be like just dumbass points. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like your wealth was built off of free labor, aggressive free labor at that. I'm never gonna just dismiss that, not say that, like violent. savagery at that. It wasn't like, because they'll like to say shit like, oh, we were slaves too, and it's like, it's not the same. You was indentured servants. Like, that's a person that was still paid one way or another. You had a home, they gave you land, and that's just from the records that we all know, have access to. All of us have Google that shit. Like I always say, they play stupid, and once you do spit out shit, most of them don't know. Most of them don't know the history, but shit, once you do, spit out, learn them on some shit, teach them some things, and, it becomes crickets, and then that's when your niggers and, your name calling and all that comes out. I've never got none of that. Mostly that happens in the comments, shit like that. Most of that happens, on the internet with me anyway. But just in the comments. But yeah, like to dismiss that's you having to feel some type of power, some type of up on me and my people. That's what that is. Like you're thinking that your average 40-year-old is thinking that they, their parents worked hard, and their grandfather worked hard, and their great grandfather worked hard, and they're thinking that this is just a work hard ass family. You know what I'm saying? They're thinking that, hey man, we did it. You know what I mean? Like, that's how they look at it. Like, they built their little, steel shops and automotive shops and, your little family businesses. They think that it's just been around since 1906 or whatever the fuck, just based off of hard work. Like, just me saying 1900 something lets you know that, yeah, that's. I guarantee you that's blood money. I guarantee you that's blood money. Shout out to Capone and Noriega. That's one of my favorite rappers of all time, groups of all time. But yeah, like, that's off blood money. Most of these institutions that we still patronizing is off of blood money. Slave money, black slaves money. Blood money. And they're just, you got to understand that their lifeline, the lifeline of majority of us is what, 79, 70s, if we, can make it, you know what I'm saying? 70 something. So it's like this same narrative of riding that out is being taught to their youth, to the younger generations, and they're going to you know what I mean? They're going to insert that same ideology, that same narrative of, we got it out, they worked hard to do this. They worked hard to own the airlines and, own the grocery stores and shit like that. Like, they're going to tell you that. And throughout, being the reason why I say the lifeline, speaking on the lifeline, like, notice how most of the elders, once they get to a certain age, like, they just throw in the flag. Like, they don't even give a fuck about humanity issues, if that makes sense, societal issues, they don't give a fuck. They, like, throughout their 20s, 30s, 40s, and even 50s, they're on the front lines of, voting against this and that. Voting, you know what I mean? Setting up barriers and this and that, on that have and have not mindset. Like, that's what most people are doing in the dominant society. They're on that type of mindset, and they have the that stamped in their brain. We worked hard. My grandfather worked hard. My great grandfather worked hard. And this business would be running since 1900 something, 1906 or whatever the fuck, and it's like, so we're just going to just dismiss the whole slavery industry? We're just going to dismiss that whole shit then? Like they don't know that a lot of their people, because they'll be, notice they're big on saying I'm Irish or I'm German or I'm this and that, and it's like, yeah, your people came here and they gave you slaves. They gave you gave you slaves, a piece of land, you know what I mean, and some crops. Like basically some seeds, some shit to get your shit jumping. So they gave you the workers to cultivate that motherfucker, cause we know damn well you wasn't out there. You're not like that right now. Yeah, the sun did get hotter, but fuck, like, come on now. See what I mean? Like, it's just crazy. But they'll negate all that. You know what I mean? We came here with the clothes on our backs. Like, nah, bruh. After the Black Death, yeah, nah, bruh. They don't even be knowing nothing about that. Like, you niggas was living on the streets with rats and shit on the streets. And black people taught you how to wash up and eat. Grow your own food. It's the same with the Spaniards. It's the same with the white Latinos. Like, they think that they naturally have these abilities to build and shit like that, and it's like what none of them are pushing or telling you is that, hey, they've learned these trades and these techniques and methods from my people. Your average white supremacist talking point, y'all were farm equipment. You know what I say to that? I'm like, shit, you're giving me, like, you're actually, you're actually giving me a compliment. Like, yeah, I know I'm strong as shit. You know I'm stronger than what I even know. That's the crazy thing. I ain't busting no asshole. I ain't breaking my back, none of that. Hernias, none of that. You can't even pick up a brick. You looking for a machine to pick up a brick. You just got rid of all them immigrants, the people that y'all hired to undercut my people. To undercut my people, because they'll do it for a low wage. They don't even know that. They see what I mean? That's indentured servitude. If you want to keep it 1,000, like, shit, you hired them for a lower wage. You know what I'm saying? And immunity. That's really what that was. That's really what that was. Oh, here's a seat next to me. Here's a seat close to whiteness. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really what that was. And man, if you ask me, I don't hate on it. Get it how you live. But one thing you're not gonna tell me is, salt. Salt and sugar, or you're not gonna sprinkle that on. It's just not gonna happen. Like, sky ain't blue or what have you. Like, I see the play and I'm gonna move accordingly. Yeah, I know your narrative that y'all teach throughout your generations to uphold the narrative, be a perpetual liar. Lying is not even a bad thing in your families, like, it's actually promoted to be liars in their societies, in their families, in their culture. Like, it's actually promoted. Erasing history is lying. And then what they don't know about that cycle is that when you lie, it catches up to you. It catches up to you. Just being from a spiritual people, such as foundational Black Americans, we could tell you that, hey, nah, we ain't perfect, motherfuckers is definitely not perfect. It happens all the time. That's why we learn about these things. It ain't just from no kiddie standpoint of don't touch that, it's hot. Like, nah, you learn it from all different angles, all different kind of spectrums. Where you're like, you know, you see the science in things. You're like, oh, okay. They don't want to allow us to do this. Man, I'm gonna just build my own. See, you learn from these things. That's why I say discrimination is necessary, man. Discrimination is very much necessary. Building your own is important. We learn that trait. We learn that trait just as a little kid. You'll see somebody with a bike. How I grew up, we would share the bike. Or, you know what I'm saying? Let such and such ride to the corner and then back, now it's your turn. You know, we would share the shit. I don't know too much about, you know, the younger generations now. Because I could say on the back end of my younger generation, yeah, we definitely started being on some fuck you, get your own type shit. And this is why I bring this up. That's the point. Like, say y'all sharing this bike or whatever the fuck, you know, boom, such and such ride to the corner, come back, your turn. Now such and such is all right. You do it, ride to the corner, back. Now it's his turn again. He go to ride it and he's like, oh, you scratched my, you know, handlebar or some shit. My pegs got scratched or something. You know, whatever it is. It ain't even got to be they could be making the shit up. They just don't want you to ride it no more. They don't want you, they're like, man, you can't ride my bike no more. Shit like that. We learn all this shit from kids. You can see the science, you know, the programming very vividly. Very vividly when you're a kid. You can see the ideology forming, and we get it from the adults. You know, they're constantly pushing these narratives. But that taught us how, oh man, I gotta get my own bike. Okay. And you keep that same mindset, man. Cause it ain't gonna stop there. It's gonna come to shit to where, you know, you go to fill out an application or apply for that gig, that job. If you ain't qualified, you know, you got to get qualified. You got to get the certifications that you need. You got to beef up your resume, so to speak, you know. Sidebar, I'm gonna say this. For anybody that run into barriers when it comes to beefing up their resume, shit, I would play the game like how they play it. Lie on it. Say you've been here for 6 years. Say you've been there for 2 years. You know what I mean? Like, cause they gonna train you anyway once you get in there. I just saw a video, a brother posted that, and I've been saying that for years. He younger than me, look like, and I'm sure he learned it from an OG. Like, shit, yeah, man. Just get your foot in the door, man. Fuck all that. They don't even be qualified. Put on your resume, oh yeah, I know how to do this. Then once you get in there, boom. Watch, you're gonna be around like-minded motherfuckers. Like-minded meaning none of you know. Y'all all learning. These is facts. I'm talking about from your labor jobs all the way up to your corporate shit. These is facts. Even motherfuckers that have degrees and things, these is facts. They learn right on the job. I've had plenty of experiences like that. A dude to be big as all get out. You know, I did demolition, like I said. A dude to be big as fuck, you know what I mean? But all air, this nigga ain't got no kind of conditioning. He don't even know he don't even know how to swing a damn hammer. Or then you had your out of shape ass motherfucker that, you know, all he do is project all day. You know what I'm saying? All he do is project all day. I can't do that. Oh, I'm not doing that. It's too hot. You know, shit like that. And you'd be like, man, get the fuck out of here, man, please. You're like draining the room. You're draining my energy. Just you bitching, just you doubting and shit is draining my energy. And that's where tapping into who you are, man, it'll combat that. Because I'm not even one to even say what I just said to a person. Oh, get the fuck out of here, you're draining my energy. I'm not even going to give them that. Because that's normally what comes with that type of person, too. They want to waste time with unnecessary banter and conflict and shit. And more so, being that you're actually a producer, you're actually somebody that's getting it in there, and they're not. 9 times out of 10, your coworker is gonna try to get you the fuck out of there. You're making them look bad. That's what normally happens with that. They steady saying shit from the sideline. Do it this way. Do it that. And it's like that. I've never even seen them do it at all. The whole day is I'm asking them, go grab me this, go get me this, because I'm actually in the field. And it's like a lot of people don't give this kind of perspective. That's exactly that's why I always say like that hard worker shit, like that they pushed for decades. You know, I would hear that from old heads. Mexicans work hard. It's like, says who? Says who? Everybody has hard workers, my nigga. Just because you see a bunch of motherfuckers on the clock for 12, 16 hours don't mean they producing. Like, you come back 2 weeks, yeah, it's going to be done, or whatever the fuck. You come back, and you got to understand, like, shit, which I commend people that do this, but at the same time I don't, because look, if you take any one of the parts away, look, what I was about to say is, these niggas be working hand to dick, you know, mouth to ass, like caterpillars, like type shit. Like basically, if you remove one of them motherfuckers and isolate them, this nigga's not gonna know how to do nothing. These is facts. I'm speaking from the field. Now, how strong are you if soon as you take one of the components, one of the team members away from the fucking team, and the team member is not effective? How strong can you be? How hard working are you, if that makes sense? That's called synergy, right? Like you at least got to be strong alone. You at least got to bring some type of force, or you know, some type of value alone by oneself. Then you get, you know, you form your squad, your team, your crew, your company, your business, and all of you are strong. Now it's even stronger. That's synergy. But if you pull away each one of the components away from, just take one away from the squad, and it all busts down, yeah, that means the whole, you know, each one of them is not strong then. That's just some it's a myth that hard worker shit that you know, because that's another thing you can't teach. You cannot teach nobody natural hard worker shit. Like, because really hard worker shit, they don't even use fucking adjectives like hard. I could say that. Just me being one. I don't look at nothing as hard. Will it take time? Okay, yes. You see what I'm saying? When you ask a certain type of person, you know, to get a task done, watch how they respond. Watch how they receive it, how they approach it. Pay attention to that. Man, that's gonna be hard. And we pay money to shit like this every day. Motherfuckers patronize businesses that are like that every day. You know how they businesses became to grow from 1906 to now? Weekend, day in and day out, month in and month out, year after year of, oh, we're still in business, trial and error. Oh, we're still in business. Oh, that's a new one, you know, type of shit. And I'm not gonna dissect the shit out of that. Like, yes, in business, new things in the industries, new things happen. You know, but let's keep it 1,000. When it comes to someone that knows the ins and outs of something, it's normally a base, so to speak. It's normally base factors that come with just a base approach to whatever it is that you're doing. Like, for example, a writer will have an outline, right? They'll know that they'll have to do an outline, right? And they'll start with hypothesis, and then intro, you get what I'm saying? Body, you know what I'm saying? Supporting details, conclusion, like these are the base. I'm just trying to make the point of, when you know what you're doing, anything, okay, boom, here's another example. Me working in demolition, I'll knock down a building, a 2-story house, and then tomorrow I'll be in a fucking Walmart. Now, am I gonna fret or get discouraged that, okay, these walls were drywall and this one is composite, like this one is like, all you know what I mean? It's a stronger framework. Like, no, I'm gonna approach it the same way I did that yesterday. The base. I'm gonna use my base strategy. I'm gonna use my base, approach towards that, like I did that. Even a bridge, we can go out a whole nother angle, or even smaller scale shit, like just a traffic light or a pole or some shit. You know what I mean? Some shit like that. Like, I'm gonna assess it the same way I did a building, a wall, a ground. Same way. Different tools, of course. But as far as, my approach, first we're gonna do this. First, next we're gonna do this. Like, this is just, and that's what you'll see. That's what you'll see with professionalism. That's what you'll see with a natural talent, a natural gift for whatever it is they craft. Yeah, we're in the I could say we're in a society where people just learned on the job. A lot of people are rarely working in fields that is their passion. We working off of like opportunity. Like, most motherfuckers are making an income off of opportunity, opportunists, like they became a RN or I can say majority of the ones that more you'll have a higher percentage of people that are doing what they love is people like chefs, your cooks, or even a mechanic, automotive shop, shit like that. Those are the ones that are actually doing things that they love. Or a doctor even, you know. And at the same time, that's all of them are subjective. All of them is, here nor there, of course. But I'm just saying that'll be the highest percentage where you'll actually find people that are doing what they love and doing, a job, have a career in a passion of theirs. Like if it wasn't attached to any kind of monetary value, they would do it anyway. They would do it anyway. And that's a big part of building your own. And you're very much rare. You're a unicorn in this society. If you're not the ones that, get these handouts and, like I can't even lie to, these little taco trucks and food trucks and shit like that. A lot of them be opportunists, and then you'll have the unicorns, the ones that are on the island with it that are actually passionate. And you can tell the difference. You can tell a quick buck as opposed to the long, longevity. You can tell the difference. The service is better. Everything is different. You can feel it. You can feel it. How many of you can say that when you go to patronize a place, feeling the experience is bigger than actually receiving the service, receiving the product? See what I mean? Like that. That's how you know you gotta have your own when you're looking at shit like that. That's how you know that. Oh, you need your own, man. You need to build your own. Because you're asking questions like, or you're noticing different things when you walk into an establishment that they do well and they don't do at all, or don't do as well. You'll notice these different things, or what's something that you'll change, or something that you agree with, you'll use. You're like, oh, that's, you know what I mean? And no, you won't even know that they holding on by a whim or holding on by a string. Up, we're still in business. Up, 3 years strong. Up, we're still in business. On some trial and error shit. Like they studied you. And it's been going on for generations. They great-grandfather studied my great-grandfather, took his damn recipe or what have you, and it's still riding since 1906. Shit like that. These are just the facts. But anyway, build your own. When they tell you, when they all these barriers and obstacles and shit, all signs lead to building your own. Discrimination is necessary. He set you apart for a reason. Use it. Build your own. Peace, peace.